gotta wait for the music to stop. So I wanted to wrap this up with a couple of insights of my own over the years on this topic. So I forwarded a post today on the Twitter feed of an article that I wrote for the small business journals about the women that I admire, of the support system that I felt I needed to have, or the examples that I needed to have, and still do today. Two of my best friends are successful women that we have a support system that we can talk to each other about things that are offline. No one else knows us. No one knows we don't work in each other's companies. But it's been extremely important for me to have that support system of other women to help me along in my process. So that's the positive side. I'm going to talk about the negative side. The negative side is, when I look back at my career, the people that have helped me have been the men. And this is the honest truth. So I've looked to women to help me, and because women don't necessarily look out for each other and are a supportive group in a corporate environment, a lot of times they've got personal agendas or concerned about what somebody else is going to do or what they're jealous of and so forth. My story on this, and this is where I could have stopped and given up, was I knew I was going to be an accountant. I was in the accounting industry in college. I went into accounting because my mom told me I was going to be an accountant at 12 years old. And in college, everybody says you need to go into public accounting. So then I, started doing the networking, and in college there are accounting fraternities. Anybody else a nerd that was in one? Yeah. But it really helped me in college, where I was able to network with these accounting firms early on. And one of those accounting firms was KPMG, and I hit it off with a partner there that we immediately, really got to know each other. We had fun, stories together. And when I went into my interview, so I'm a senior in college, he was sitting there with a woman senior manager. I could tell when I walked in the room there were daggers coming from her eyes. And he, was like, oh, we already have this conversation going, and I knew he pulled me along, that he was the one that made sure I got hired, because I could tell by everything in her body language she did not want me to become part of the firm. And then, of course, my first job I ever work on, she's my manager. And she completely humiliates me in front of a client because I didn't know what was going to be going on. I was a new associate, and it was just humiliating. I can remember it to this day. I was sitting in front of executives at General Electric, and it was just shaming. And so I ended up on every job with her somehow. You know how things work out. And then she decided, so every spring CPAs leave the firm, and she was leaving the firm, so I was like, oh, go to her party because I just need to. So I went to her party, and I was like, I'm just going in and I'm going out. And I went in, and after they said their goodbyes, I went up to her to say my goodbye, and I still thanked her for the opportunity there. And she's like, I need to talk to you. She took me out of the room, and it's a glass conference room where everyone could see, and for an hour told me how successful women don't look like me. And so I went and cried in my car after, thought I didn't have a career in accounting. I thought everybody was talking about me. And this is why this topic is so important to me about accounting, about companies in general, but it is so important that women support women. So I really appreciate the men that came into this room and came to the breakfast this morning, because it shows that you're, enlightening yourselves on what the issues are and how you can help women. But how women are going to help is by helping other women. That means if you're a staff person, you're not jealous of the manager that you have. If you're a manager, you're looking for opportunities for those staff people and bringing them along. It is a joint effort, and those opportunities are endless if you're open to them. So what I would say is, please help each other. Take today and take all of the good advice that you've heard, whether you're at the breakfast or from these 3 presenters today during this session, and hopefully we empower each other to make it better for women in the future. Thank you.